Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Weekly Switch 2 edition. It is Switch 2 launch week. Finally, we've been talking about rumors and anticipation and all that for so long, and it's finally here. Those of you who tuned into the Twitch stream yesterday got to see a very tired Trisha, because I waited up at the midnight launch the night before to get hands on my very own Nintendo Switch 2, and we played some Mario Kart World yesterday. But now it's officially Nintendo Weekly time. Huzzah. Michael says, did you get some good sleep? Certainly better sleep than I got the night before, although I would have slept like a baby all night last night, but I have a child and he needed something at midnight. So it then took me a little while to get back to sleep. But welcome, everybody, wherever you're watching. Chicago in Amazon chat says Nintendo Switch 3, morning of the second day. That, you know what? You are living in the future, my friend. We're not quite there yet, but that could be what the sequel's called, for sure. So whether you're watching on Twitch or Amazon, welcome, and I am happy to have you to talk all things Nintendo. I see that our good friend Dinobot didn't tell anyone that we are live on Twitch yet, so we'll see if that happens. By the way, for either Amazon or Twitch, you can sign up for Go Live notifications in case that way we don't have to rely on Dinobot. Because Dinobot maybe went to the midnight launch too and is very tired. But if you've not been here for Nintendo Weekly before, I created this show because I was like, I want a once a week spot to talk about Nintendo. So we kind of talk about everything from Nintendo fun finds and like do a little show and tell to news and hardware launches and software launches to games I've really been enjoying lately. And it just kind of gives us a place to be excited about Nintendo fandom if you are also a Nintendo fan. Oh, did Dino do it? Dino did it. Hey, Sticky Side down on Twitch. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate you being here today. All right, everybody. So I wanted to start things off because there's been a lot of conversation online now that a lot of people, especially creators, have gotten hands on the Nintendo Switch 2. Of people saying, you know, I don't know if I'm ready for an upgrade yet, think I'm going to stick with my original Switch. And what I want to say to those folks is the original Switch is still a really great device. Please don't think this is obsolete or extinct in any way. Same thing with the Switch OLED. Both are really great. Both are still available. There's new games coming out for these as well. They're perfect for kids, especially kids getting into gaming. But they're also great for someone who, you know, doesn't necessarily need all the fancy new hardware and performance updates. You're happy with what you got. What I will say, I've kind of been putting my thoughts together because I'm going to be making a video soon on, like, my thoughts on the Switch 2 after the first 24 hours. But, like, if you're someone that might be perfect still for the original Switch and you might want to stick with that for a while, cost, the Switch 2 is not cheap. So you might want to stick with one of these for the cost reason. Also, if there's no noticeable performance issues on the games you play on the Switch, this original Switch is lighter. It is a little smaller, so it's a little bit more portable. It runs cooler. It's not going to warm up in your hands at all. And probably longer battery life, although I haven't had the Switch 2 long enough to test it out yet. But most likely longer battery life as well. Now, if you have the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is this model right here, and you love OLED screens, you love the darks and the brights, this is the only way to get that currently. Maybe you have a long backlog of Switch games that you need to play, so you're not like dying to jump into the new games on Switch 2. There are a lot of reasons to still love and appreciate and move forward with the original Switch if that's what you're looking for. So I wanted to go ahead and shout that out too, because I don't want anyone to feel like they're left out of the party. Like, they're still it. CP Falcon says Fire Fit, by the way. Thank you. This is a Breath of the Wild dress. We're still keeping the Nintendo fandom going strong for Switch 2 launch week. Odyssey Dave says, I'm waiting for the inevitable Switch 2 OLED. Maybe they'll call it the Switch 2 OLED when it finally releases, but people think that's going to happen. Stuck on This Planet says, did the Switch 2 get hot while holding it and playing it? Was it bad? So again, I have some more stuff that I want to test out, but in handheld mode, not plugged in, not hot. In docked plugged in mode, if you take it out of the dock, definitely toasty. Not so hot, it's going to like hurt your hands, but very similar to like how some gaming laptops get a little hot when you're pushing them to full performance. So something to think about. And again, something that I'm still really testing. Does the Switch 2 not have an OLED screen? It does not. No, it's a beautiful screen. It's a big, beautiful screen. And it's very bright, but it is not OLED. So some people are saying, OLED's really important to me. So I'm going to wait until hopefully they release an OLED version in the future. We'll see. Sergeant Nobody says, how hot did the Switch 2 get for you yesterday? Toasty. It got toasty when it was in the dock. But I will say not as toasty as my Asus ROG Ally when it's plugged in. So the Asus ROG Ally when it's plugged in, I just know don't touch the top of it where the vents are because, ooh, ow, surprising. But on the Switch 2, it's just like, oh, this is like a hand warmer that I could get to put in the pocket of my coat in winter. But again, my guess so far, my educated guess so far, is that it only really warms up to that degree when it's plugged in. So meaning when it's docked or if you were playing it plugged in. But I do like that you can play it plugged in with the kickstand open. That's pretty cool. That's something I've been looking at because the kickstand's down here and you now have a USB-C on the top and the bottom. So you can have it plugged in while you're gaming. How many Switch 2 exclusive titles are available right now? There's quite a bit, and we're going to get into them for sure. But just again, shouting out my folks out there who are like, I might wait for a Switch 2 OLED, or I'm fine with what I got. That pricing is just doesn't meet where I am in life right now. Or again, you prefer something smaller, more portable, maybe longer battery life, maybe runs a little cooler, and you're still in Switch 1 generation. For those people, I want to tell you that the Switch OLED, you can get it in its regular red, and so I have the all red Mario Switch edition here, but if you want it in its regular red and blue Joy-Con, this is for the OLED, you can get that 7% off for those of you on Amazon right now. Dun 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 dun. Jeff says, sorry, I'm trying to catch up with both chats here. Plenty of places did have in-store events, Jeff. That's absolutely true. So the Switch OLED in red and blue is 7% off. And if you want to get it in the all red version, like I have, this is the Mario Red edition, you can get that currently for 9% off right now. And then the regular Switch, the most affordable I could find it, if you want to pick one up, is in the all gray. So the back is gray, the Joy-Cons are both gray. That's 11% off right now. And then also in the all gray, if you're only ever going to use your Switch handheld anyway, you have no interest in docking it, the Switch Lite is for handheld mode only, and that's actually the most portable Switch that you can get. So that is currently 8% off. So slight discounts that I could find today on Gen 1 Switches. All right, let me take a coffee sip. Thank you, Mal SJ. Dun 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 dun. I have no dropped frames on my end, Tank Shade X. I'm sorry if Twitch is being buggy. If Twitch is being buggy for you, you can also open up the stream right now on Amazon. If you use Command Amazon in Twitch chat, it'll take you to the Amazon live stream, and we have chats going in both of those, so you should be good to go. I'm definitely sipping coffee out of my Game Boy mug today. It is a heat-changing mug. Luke Sweeting says, I think I'm going to wait till the hype dies down. When I bought the original back in 2020, I ordered it online during the start of COVID, so scalping was crazy. Yeah, you don't want to get into that life. Although I hear that there's a lot of physical inventory in store, which makes me laugh because maybe I didn't need to have a cumulative 12 hours in line to get mine. But I'm glad that people who want it seem to be able to get it. That's very exciting. Hi, Sergeant Nobody says, what's up, Amazon? Whoop, whoop. Vulcan. So cheers to all of my Nintendo friends and fans out there that have been following all the content coming out the last couple days. You're amazing. For the folks that are still Gen 1 switching and kind of playing the wait and see game, or maybe you're just getting into the Gen 1 Switch right now because you prefer these models for whatever reason, like all the reasons we've listed before that you might prefer Switch Gen 1. If you're looking for a micro SD card to expand Switch Gen 1, Lexar has a 1 terabyte micro SD. So again, this is for Switch Gen 1. This will not work for Switch 2. If you're looking for Switch 2, on that same page, so if you click that same page if you're watching on Amazon Live, they also have listed the Lexar Play Pro micro SD Express cards. These are the kind of cards that you need for the Switch 2. And honestly, Lexar is the only company I'm aware of making them in 1 terabyte size. So I have later listed in the stream if you want to pick up a 256 gigabyte micro SD Express from SanDisk. That's available now, but the only one making the 1 terabyte right now, as far as I know, is Lexar, which is why they sell out all the time. Ruben, how are you today? Welcome to the stream. But yes, if you click on the Lexar button, just to the side or just under the product carousel, if you're watching on Amazon, you'll be able to toggle back and forth between those 2 types of cards. And I have it on good authority that the Lexar micro SDs in 1 terabyte will be back in stock in July. I don't know exactly when in July, but feel free to add that to your wish list or earmark it or whatever your process is that you do. Astro Banshee says, remember when we were all told that 256 was all the storage we would ever need? 256K was all the storage we would ever need? Oh my gosh. And Astro Banshee says, regarding people jumping right into Switch 2 on launch week, that you used to be an early adopter, but you've been burned too many times recently. Totally get that. But yeah, I mean, for me, I have been following all the rumors and announcements for the Switch 2 literally for over a year now. So I was like, I am the person that's going to buy it right away. But also I want to make content about it. You know, I do a Nintendo Weekly show, so that's very important for me to have it so that I can tell you about it. If you're still looking for awesome games on the Gen 1 Switch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you're a little jealous hearing everyone else talk about the new Mario Kart World for Switch 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still a great game. Totally holds up, really fun, and it is 16% off on Amazon right now. And then, of course, if a game like Mario Kart World or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or you're wanting to back up your saves so that if you do switch to the Switch 2, all your saves are backed up to the cloud somewhere. To do any of that, you're going to need Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Switch Online is currently $19.99 for a full year. I've seen tragedies posted online. You've probably seen them too on social media, but I've seen tragedies of people saying, I transferred my data from the original Switch to the Switch 2 and lost my entire Pokemon save file. And other people are saying, you know, how did you do the transfer? Did you have it backed up ahead of time? Do you have Nintendo Switch Online so it could have been backed up to the cloud? Lots of different questions, but save yourself that tragic experience before switching. This is my recommendation. Get Nintendo Switch Online. It's only $19.99 for a full year. It's great. I see people debating in chat whether 1 terabyte is enough and or too much for the Switch. I have a 1 terabyte in one of my Switch originals and in my Switch 2 right now. Thank you, Lexar. That is the Lexar micro SD Express 1 terabyte that I have in my Switch 2 currently. And I get close to filling it up. I was pretty close to filling up my original Switch. It's just nice to not have to think about it. You know what I mean? And Switch 2 games are going to be a little bit more hefty, so that's something to consider. That is something to consider. All right, moving onward. Clearly, all of the news this week is centered around the Switch 2, which for those of you watching on Amazon, I'm sad to say the Switch 2 is not yet available on Amazon. Now, eShop gift cards are available on Amazon, so you could gift card your way into getting one if you want. But I'm hearing that these are pretty available in a lot of retailers right now for launch week, which is wild. But here's what it looks like. Now I have the kickstand open, but here's what it looks like. For those of you that want to check it out, Probably the biggest question that I get asked is the magnetic Joy-Cons. Do they feel like they're going to fall off? And like, nope. Nope, they're pretty good. So you see this little bump on the back of the Joy-Con 2s? Right there. Hold on, give my camera a second. That little bump right there, that is your detachment. So you push that in to take them off, and then they snap right back in. Hi, Lupe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The magnetic connection is so satisfying here. Okay, then we'll do it again. There it is. Chicago, it gave you anxiety when I held it just by this. Yeah, you need to use the release. Enable to have it come off. So that's something that I know a lot of people were asking about. So I wanted to make sure and kind of demo that for you. And if anyone has any other questions or anything in particular that you want to see about this Switch 2, please let me know. Now, while the actual Switch 2 itself is not available yet on Amazon, there are a lot of third-party accessories that are available. Gary says, I'm thinking about getting a Switch OLED instead of a 2 because it's cheaper. Does the OLED still let you play on your TV and portable? Yes, Gary, that is a reason a lot of people are getting the OLED instead of the Switch 2. It also is not as big. Like, oh, here, I'll show you size-wise the two next to each other. Here we go. I'm going to actually, I'll move my fingers. Sorry, I have fingerprints all over these devices because I've been handling them. But like you can see a clear difference in size, both the screen size and the overall size between the two. A lot of people are opting for this because they really like the OLED screen technology. They want something that's a little smaller, that the battery life will probably last a little longer on. Again, haven't fully tested yet the comparison to know. And doesn't have like running warm issues, and still uses micro SD cards, which are much cheaper than the micro SD Express. But yeah, it's great. So I mean, if you primarily play docked, you will appreciate the higher frame rate and resolution. But honestly, both are really good. And Astro Banshee says, if you primarily play docked though, with a Switch in the dock, then the OLED is a moot point anyway. That is true. Is OLED better than what the Screen 2 uses? Depends on what you're looking for. So OLED is a screen technology that gives you really deep darks and really bright brights. So the contrast is really nice and stark. That being said, even though the Switch 2 uses a different screen technology, I have been consistently impressed by this screen. Like, it still looks really good. So here, I mean, it's going to be hard coming through my camera. But like, yeah, it's hard to tell through the camera. But this screen is still really, really nice. Really bright, really, really pretty. And with the higher resolution, it makes a difference. So it just depends what you're looking for. Some people will look at these two screens side by side and prefer this one. Some people look at the screens side by side and prefer that one. 3D would be incredible. It is not 3D. No, it is not 3D. Like I was saying, even though Amazon does not have the Switch 2 available, they do have a lot of Switch 2 accessories. If you're primarily getting the Switch 2 to play Mario Kart World and you want those little like steering wheel controllers that you put the Joy-Con in, those are available right now for $15.99 on Amazon. So it's a little thing that I find kids think is super cool. So it's just like a little round wheel, little round steering wheel, and you put the Joy-Con right inside it, and then you can control that way. You can control your Mario Kart that way. So that is really, really fun, especially for $15.99 for a pack of 2 of them. That's kind of a steal of a deal that's going on right now. But make sure if you are picking up those wheels, that you get the wheels for the right Switch. If you have Switch Gen 1, that's different sized wheels than Switch Gen 2 wheels. So keep that in mind. Okay, also, I know I mentioned earlier that the Switch 2 only takes micro SD Express. The micro SD Express slot is right here under the kickstand. And right now, in stock on Amazon, you can get a 256 gigabyte SanDisk micro SD Express. So if you're like, Trisha, I need it right now, I can't wait till the 1 terabytes are back in stock, or maybe you don't want a 1 terabyte, you just want a 256. SanDisk has that available right now, and I have it linked for anyone who wants it. Again, if you want the full 1 terabyte, you'll have to wait till July. But if you can't wait, this is it, or you don't want it. The other things that I find are kind of flying off the shelves like hotcakes on Amazon and the Nintendo world are screen protectors for the Switch 2. A lot of stuff came out online saying that, like, don't remove the film that comes on the screen initially. And we were talking about this yesterday. I don't really see a film on it. I mean, I see my fingerprints on it. Gross. But I don't see, like, a film that looks like there's something that I need to peel off. They do have some kind of protective film on it directly from Nintendo that is shatterproofing, so forbid something happens to your screen, it's not gonna, like, the glass isn't gonna shatter. But what I will say is if you use the touchscreen on your Switch at all, I would urge you to get a glass screen protector as opposed to a plastic screen protector, just to keep the feel the same. It's gonna feel a lot more premium. Right now, there is a glass Switch 2 screen protector set available for $8.99 on Amazon, and it comes with a few of them. So even if you, like, apply incorrectly at first or something like that, you have extra opportunities, or your initial one gets scratched, you've got more to put them on there. So if you're looking for a screen protector, again, Trisha's pro tips, get one that's glass so you're maintaining that screen feel, and you can get them for a pretty affordable price right now. Dragonix says, is it touchscreen? Yes. So both Switch Gen 1 and Switch Gen 2 are touchscreen. What I really like to use that for is, like, when I'm inputting Switch friend codes in handheld mode, I don't want to use the Joy-Cons to, like, select through the keyboard. It's much easier for me to touchscreen it. But yes, it is touchscreen. Jamie, thank you so much for following. Welcome. Chicago said the wheel was the only way my mom would play Mario Kart on the Wii. Shout out to cute moms everywhere, okay? Shout out to the cute moms of the world. All right, now, I know someone was asking a little earlier about Switch 2 exclusive games. There are oodles of Switch 2 exclusive games. I saw one reviewer saying that the Switch 2 console launch might have the biggest game library of any new hardware generation launch they've ever seen, because it's backwards compatible. So your favorite Switch 1 games, almost all of them, can be played on the Switch 2. Plus, they've got a pretty decent lineup going right now of games specifically for the Switch 2 that are available. So the first one I'm going to shout out is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. The HD 2D remakes are gorgeous. Now, this is available for pre-order right now. It is not quite out yet, but it's coming out soon. If you played the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, you know visually what you're expecting out of that. Plus, there have been some quality of life and UI improvements to the combat settings since the original. No6, thank you for the resub. It's great to see you here today. Welcome, welcome. Ziot85 says, what games do I think are going to be shown today at Summer Game Fest for the Switch? I don't know. So Nintendo is returning to Summer Game Fest. They announced that they're going to be a partner for the first time since 2022, but they didn't say they're there as Nintendo. They said they're there as Switch 2. So we're clearly getting Switch 2 news. That showcase airs later today in approximately 4 hours. And I will be co-streaming it on Twitch. I'm going to take a break in between Nintendo Weekly and that. I'm not going to go straight through because I have meetings and stuff I have to do. But if you want a chill place to watch that, know that I will be live giving my thoughts, but also chatting with chat about it. I think a lot of times when you tune into, like, the main channels or chat for stuff, the chat can move so fast, it's not really a nice conversation. And there's just a lot of people there that are always there to spam the word cringe no matter what is happening. So if you'd like to avoid all that and have a nice place to hang out and watch it, you are welcome to watch it here with me. But that's going to be in about 4 hours. And honestly, I have no idea what Switch 2 is going to announce or show, but it'll be interesting. Chill places are the best sometimes. Happy Friday to you, Skippy. Thank you for being here. You said, I'm digging the blue medieval dress you're sporting today. It's actually a Breath of the Wild dress. Take a look at those patterns. So it might look kind of medieval, but it's actually Breath of the Wild. I'm just keeping the Nintendo fits going for today. Other games that you can currently check out for Switch right now include Star Wars Outlaws is also available for pre-order for Nintendo Switch 2. So if you got the Switch 2, you're looking for awesome games for your Switch 2, those are the two pre-orders that I would recommend for you. Now, if you're looking for Switch 2 games you can get right now, there's a bunch of really great titles that are available. Civilization 7 is available right now for the Switch 2. So is Sonic X Shadow Generations, has a Switch 2 version that's available that you can pick up. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut has a Switch 2 version you can pick up. There are a lot of different games, and I'm so sad. I thought I had Cyberpunk in here, but I'm not seeing it right now. Oh, there we go. It was all the way at the end. Cyberpunk 2077, the Switch 2 version. I cannot wait to see what the motion controls look like in this. And playing with the mouse controls will make your aiming more accurate if you're used to a keyboard mouse setup. So that's a really cool addition to Cyberpunk on the Switch. There's also Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition, a Switch 2 version available. So lots of games at launch. So many games. Christopher just happened upon this feed. Hello, Christopher. We just happened upon you in chat. Welcome. Lewis says, happy Friday. I just jumped in. Did you get to try any of the J-Socks? I think that's how you pronounce that. Accessories for the Switch 2. I did not yet. I know there are a few companies that are sending me review units of Switch accessories specifically to show off on Nintendo Weekly, but I do not have them in hand yet. I am patiently waiting as this stuff is coming in. Split Fiction is also available on the Switch 2. There's a Switch 2 version of that, which is actually the first time Split Fiction has ever been available on any Switch. So if you're a Split Fiction fan or just a co-op fan, that is something you should absolutely pay attention to because it's very exciting. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, if you have the Switch 1 version, which is what I have linked on Amazon right now, there's a free upgrade to the Switch 2 version. Woo, 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 woo. You love to see it. I love to see the free upgrades. And if you have Nintendo Switch Online through the expansion pass, Tears of the Kingdom also gets a free Switch upgrade instead of costing $10. Huzzah! So this is all very, very exciting. Yes, GameCube games are on the Switch 2 as well, only if you have Nintendo Switch Online. Is it true that they're built-in or purchasable? I can show you. I can show you right now on live stream. But they're part, as far as I know, they're part of your Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass. So we'll check it out today. I see Chicago shouting out some different Switch 2 launch games. Christopher says, I didn't know there was chats here. I need to get my avatar uploaded. Yes, welcome. So Amazon Live is a way you can live stream on Amazon and chat and have a similar experience to how you would find on other live streaming platforms just on Amazon. The only difference is with Amazon Live, the products are either just to the side or just below, so I don't have to link in the description or link in chat or anything like that. It makes it a lot easier. You wish the Hogwarts Legacy upgrade was free as well? Yeah, I did not see a free upgrade there. I don't know what the upgrade costs off the top of my head. But then swinging it all the way back to what I was saying in the beginning of the stream, if you're like, wait, maybe I just want the Switch Gen 1 or the Switch Gen 1 OLED for some reason, please do not think that the Switch Gen 1 and the OLED are now retired for some reason. There are still great games coming out for Switch Gen 1, like Shadow Labyrinth, the Nintendo Switch version, which is only $29.99. That is still available for the original Switch, and it's brand new. It's actually not even out yet. It's coming out in July. So it's not like we're put it out to pasture at all. There's just a now different range of devices available depending what you are looking for. So keep that in mind as well. Is there a Switch 2 upgrade for No Man's Sky? I don't know. That's a great question. But yeah, so there's still a lot going on for Switch Gen 1. Obviously, there's a lot of hype right now for Switch Gen 2. Now, one of the things that I thought we could check out today, we should definitely check out the GameCube games since you asked about that specifically. But we should also check out, I downloaded the free upgrade for Tears of the Kingdom, but I haven't actually seen it with my own eyeballs yet. So I would love to share that with you today if you are all down for it. We played a lot of Mario Kart World on stream yesterday over on Twitch, and we can play more of that today. But yeah, it's all right now, since it's launch week, it's all about like seeing what everything looks like on the new hardware, right? So let's do it. It took us a while. For those of you that weren't on yesterday's stream, it took me a while to get the dock situation figured out, not because of anything weird with the Switch 2, just because I was really, really tired and used the wrong adapter. I had 2 black USB-C adapters plugged into outlets right next to each other, and I was so tired that I just used the wrong one. That's what happens sometimes when you're in a midnight launch, all right? That's what happens. I do want to say, last thing I'll say about Switch 2 news. Yes, later today during the Summer Game Fest presentation, we're supposed to get some new news. Also, rumor has it that there will be a separate Nintendo Direct later in the month of June. A lot of these publishers like to be like, surprise, tomorrow there's a big event. I wish they would give us a bit more heads up so I could rearrange my schedule to be able to share that with you and watch it live. But alas, you know, adult things call. Sometimes we all have to be at work or whatever and can't just do it. But yeah, that is supposed to happen later this month, maybe. Okay, let me go ahead and put the Switch in the dock now. Ooh, and I will get us ready, sketty. Excuse me, just clicking through my monitor. Your Switch 2 just got delivered an hour ago. Good for you. Congratulations. I know a lot of people were like, when's mine coming? Okay. Oh, it just made a noise. All right, trying to get, okay. The FOMO is real, says Starcat. Okay, so let me just make sure that this is correct, and it is. Woohoo! So, or I should say, woohoo! Woohoo! Like Mario does. Your Pro controller is not coming till tomorrow. You just ordered your Switch last night and were lucky enough to get one. That's awesome. So, for those of you asking about the GameCube games, let's go into the Nintendo eShop, which is a much smoother experience on the Switch 2 than it has been on prior gen Switches. But look, they have all these Switch 2 stuff right up front. I really wish the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour had come free with the system, but it does not. And you have to have like all the extra Switch accessories to complete it, which I also do not. Let's go into Nintendo Classics. And here it is, Nintendo GameCube free download. Boop. Continue shopping. So for those of you who were curious, is it free or is it something you need to buy? It is right there. Boop, we got it. We got it. Now I could let this download to go through the library, but no, if you want to access Nintendo GameCube through the Nintendo Classics, you need to have the Nintendo Switch Online, which is $19.99 for a full year. That's how you access that. Sweet Bride, that totally makes sense. Yeah. eShop is so fast, says Chicago. I know. It's really nice, right? Okay, so now I am going to, speaking of the GameCube library being free as long as you have Nintendo Switch Online, now I'm going to go to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I got, because I had Nintendo Switch Online, I got the free upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This will also be my first time seeing it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Checking whether software can be played, because it's not. Oh, let's take a look at virtual game cards. I will first need to load the virtual game card on this system. Now, the reason it's telling me I have to do that is because this was a digital download for me initially. Hey, I see your game on request. This was a digital download for me initially, and in my house, I make my son's Switch the primary Switch. He has a Switch OLED. That is going to be the Switch that he's using still for the foreseeable future. And his is the primary Switch, which means any digital downloads that I'm also signed in on, like any other console I'm signed in on, I need to borrow the virtual game card. So let's take a look. So maybe I need to send it from his first. To see your virtual game cards. Okay. Virtual game cards. Here we go. So here's all the digital downloads I have. You know how you guys were saying, like, how can you fill a full terabyte? Ha 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 ha. I'll show you how. Okay, so let's go up. Where is? They're not in alphabetical order. Newest first is what it says. Here's Echoes of Wisdom. I should definitely put that on here too. So I am going to load it on this system. Here's how it works. So it's taking it from Logan's Switch and putting it on mine. Cool. Thank you. But I also want the other virtual game card I want. That one's on here. Where is... Am I just not seeing it? Oh, here we go. Yes. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Load on this system. Yes, please. And so that's how you can make it easier to share games within your family of systems. Astro Banshee says, so that means he can't play it on his game now, right? That's correct. So it's just like if we had the physical card and I was like, hey, the physical card is in my Switch. And then he'd be like, but Mom, I want to play it. I'd have to take the physical card out of my Switch and put it in his. So the virtual cards are meant to work just like if you had a physical copy of the game. It also makes it so you can lend a game to friends. Boondoggle says until he unloads it from yours. He can't do that through his account. I would have to sign in on my account to do that. I'm able to switch them because they're all purchased under my account. That's how the parent's in charge, my friends. But it is a nice feature. And if you lend a game to a friend that's not within your family account, like my son and I are clearly in the same Nintendo family account, if you lend a game to a friend that is not in your family account, it auto returns it to you after 14 days. So it's not like you could be like, oh, I used to have that game and then I lent it to so-and-so and they never gave it back. It just comes back to you after 14 days, which is pretty cool. But yeah, again, in the interest of making it feel more like if you had the physical card. So let's go ahead and take a look at Legend of Zelda Switch 2 Edition. Come on, baby. I'm excited to see it. I'm going to continue where I left off. I don't remember where we left off last time we were streaming it. Michael Miller still hasn't returned Ninja Gaiden for the NES, and you lent it to him in 5th grade. Okay. I mean, that looks crisp, baby. That looks good. That looks smooth. Ooh, yeah. All right, I already did this one. Yes, I already did that shrine. I think that's where we left off last stream. And now we're here at the village. There was something I was supposed to do in the village, but I don't remember. If someone grows up and moves off on their own, is there a way to set a new primary switch? Yes, you can set a new primary switch anytime you want. So like if I wanted to make my Switch the new primary instead of his, I would just have to do that transfer process, which doesn't take that long, to be honest. But that's how you would do it. No one can yank the game card digitally unless they own it. And I don't know if they can do it while you're playing it. All right, but let's see. Let's move around here. Let's go visit whoever's camping out over here. Southern, oh, that looks so crisp. I'm reading Quixie like. This, honestly, it looks so good. Let's go to my adventure log. What was I going for most recently? Something here. The hat, oh, I'm going to Hatno Village. is down there. So I need to... Do I have any travel spots closer to that? Maybe I just happen to finish here. I have this. That's not really close. All right, so we're just going to make our way in that direction to get over to Hatno Village. I think that will be fine. I could probably take the road if I wanted to. Sergeant Nobody, what resolution is the monitor I'm playing on? So the monitor I'm playing on is capable of 1440p, 165 hertz. But that is not what the Switch is currently being captured at. I can tell you the Switch is currently being captured at... Well, I don't want to mess this up. But I'm streaming out at 1080p 60, but it looks really pretty. Does it feel like it's running a lot smoother? It does. Let me make sure I'm going the right direction that I want to be going. So let's turn around this way. Software download complete. Let's also pick this up. Let's go up this way. I'm hoping that we have some more quick travel points. And here, you know what? Let me actually change our Twitch category because I'm realizing I did not. I wonder if they have a separate Twitch category for Tears of the Kingdom. Switch 2 edition. They do. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. Am I able to stream in 2K? Twitch just recently told me that they're accepting some streamers to stream in 2K. I'm not doing that because I don't think my internet could handle it, honestly. I bet only the very best researchers from the Zonai survey team get picked to work on valuable sites like the Ring Ruins. If we join the survey team, I'd want to investigate amazing places like that. Right, Tatsi? Wait, you're not Tatsuna. What business do you have startling folks like that? Sorry, Letty. Alright, this is not where I need to be. I need to be down on the path. I could climb up and over. Here we go. I'll just walk around here. And then get our way down. Whee! I mean, this looks so good. Is that a pimple on Link's nose? Because it looks so... so fancy. All right, there's a shiny over here. You know, just trimming some hedges like you do. Because sometimes you find a restless cricket. Great for stamina potions. Okay, we didn't get this guy yet. We need to help him hold up. Okay. President Hudson, gotta stay holding up. Okay. I forgot you don't have to talk to him first. You just need to figure out how to make it happen. Oh, look, though. His sign has, like... Let's use... Oh, hold on. Excuse me? Let's grab that. It's, like, working so fast. Can I slide it in there? No. It looks like it's, like, just slightly too big. What if I rotate it first? Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. So maybe... I can do... Oh, maybe on this side would work. Just keep holding it. There we go. I'm going to attach that. Ah. What if I put two of them together? All right. Ah. Now, let's see how we're doing height-wise. Oh, there's an arrow stuck in there. There we go. That looks really good. Who is crying? Are you gonna, like, try to fight me right now? Someone's trying to fight. Why are we trying to fight? I'm just trying to help out President Hudson. You hear that? It's coming from somewhere, a drum. I hear it. I am hearing that, then. Maybe it's the one I'm destined to walk through life with calling me, but it can't be. I wonder where it's coming from. Oh, okay. I'll try to find it for you, but first we're helping over here. We have too many people we're helping at the same time right now. Try letting go. Nope! We tried! We tried! Duba says, did they get rid of the weapon breaking? Nope. Weapon durability is still a thing. Alright. So now I'm going to put a little base on it, maybe. And this will make it a little bit higher. But I'm okay with that. And actually, let me just drop that there. Pick up this. We're just, you know, we're just building things. We're building experiments. It could work out. It could totally not. Yes, I think I want that, like, there. Oh, I was hoping that would stand up. All right, let's get a really nice big base on it. Like this. Drop that. This is like going to be the most complex for no reason. It's probably so much easier than I'm making it. But I do really like these puzzles. Okay. Now let's just hope this isn't too tall. Look at all these people that are so upset. It is too tall now. Gosh darn it, in a bag of chips. Maybe I didn't need this stuff in the middle. Yes, that's what I'm gonna say. I like how they're all like, stop moving things! And I'm like, look, I was here first, okay? Whoa, what? Okay, let's take these out of the equation. There we go. And we'll attach that. Okay. Now I'm hopeful that this will work. Yep. Nope. Thread the needle. Okay. I think that will work. Artistic is asking in chat if there's closed captioning. And there is closed captioning available. You just have to turn it on. Can someone please explain that to Artistic in chat, please? What is it? I need to stay focused. President Hudson might topple over if I don't give him my full support. Try letting go. There it is, sir. We did it. He's standing. Now he's going to give me food. He always very kindly gives me food. I guess that's true. I would also be screaming if lumber was floating through the air. Okay, we got some red rupees. That's some monies. Energizing mushroom rice balls. What else does he have? Oh, a sleepover ticket to sleep at a lodge. Thank you. All right. Okay, now. The sound of the drum. She can't hear it because it's raining. I feel like that's something we need to find, though, for her at some point. It is 11:30 a.m. in-game time. And we're just following the path. I can call a horse. Do I not have a horse right now? I guess I don't. I thought I had one at the stable that could come and help me out, but alas. I am trying to head in this direction, ultimately. Do we think we can... I think we can make it past this river. I think we can. I'm going for it. Since I have this... Yeah, we can totally make this. Oh, on Amazon you see the closed captioning, but you don't see it on Twitch. So weird. So it's working. Here, let me just go ahead and check my Twitch extensions real quick. Because it should just be available through Twitch. That's not something I could see on my end, but it should be there. And it's actually not even a Twitch extension. It's just, it should just be available. I can see if there is an extension. I can add a closed captioning panel, but I don't think that it's going to make a difference because I'm not using that type of closed captioning. The closed captioning I'm using. Weird. That's so weird. I am sending it through. Please explain to Artistic that they can watch the stream on Amazon Live and there's captions there. So the captions are working there, but they're not working here. So please tell them I'm very sorry. I don't know why it's working on one and not the other. Hi, Ken. Welcome to the stream today. Okay, we've got a fox. Is there any tower? It does look like there's... Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting you guys being out during the day. Oh, you stinker. So it does look like there's something down here I could maybe get. Oh, no! This is not okay. Get out of here. Leave that poor person alone. Phew. Oh, and I got some hasty vegetable curry for my effort. Gotta love that. Alright, it does look like there's a stable over here, so we can stop in and say hi. Pablo is asking how many FPS does the Switch 2 get on Tears of the Kingdom? And Pablo, I'm going to give you the same answer that I was giving yesterday on stream. The Switch 2 does not have a built-in FPS counter. So there is no way for me to know exactly how many FPS it's getting. You can see if it looks clear or not to you. Ooh, what is that person doing? Don't love. This looks like a tougher battle than I am currently ready for. My Soldiers Claymore. Oh, I'm not even using a good weapon. Let's use a Zora Longsword, maybe? Let's use Ice Breath. There we go. Now I'm... Oh! Oh! Whatever that shield is, looks like it reflects it right back to me. Okay, so let's take out... Oh, that broke. Maybe this? Okay, now I need to figure out a way... Oh, there's somebody up here. Oh, I need to hit them in their eye. Oh! Flamethrower, rude. No, not that. Move quicker. Thank you. Okay, that one's done. I know I should heal soon. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna eat some food. I just got all this new food. That's not very much, but I'll eat it anyway. I also have toasty shrooms. I've got... toasted hearty truffle. Okay. Okay, now. Woohoo! That's the secret with those guys. You gotta get them right there. Ooh, I didn't even know there was a treasure chest here. That's the part of Tears of the Kingdom you stink at? So you're more of the puzzle friend. Okay. Then the combat. I see. It happens. Alright. Well, at least we got some good equipment from that. Here appears to be... Oh. Put that down. Cannon! 3 Zonai cannons. Okay. We can use that in the future, too. Pick up some of the arrows that I missed. Looks like I have a couple of things over here I can pick up, too. Soldier Spring Shield. I can't carry any more shields. Alright, what shields do I currently have that I can get rid of? I guess I don't need the Shield of the Mind's Eye. I could drop that. Let me select that and drop it. Pick up that instead. I don't know if that's better. Wait, why is the... Oh, Flame Emitter Shield is only 2. The Spring Shield is just interesting. I feel like I could probably combine it with something else and make it great. I'm going to hold on to that. Okay. I could sneak up on a horse and get a new horse. But I think my trusty horse Peanut is still at the stable. Spicy peppers. Trim some grass. Don't see any oh, cricket. All right, and here's the stable. Let's inquire about the Dueling Peaks stable. Hello, friends. Come in from the rain. I'm glad you made it. If you need a guide to the roads, I can help you. Even the towns are different. A lot of changes in the villages. Okay, I'll read that later. Wait until it stops raining to climb the mountain. Copy that.
Hey.
Yes, thank you for supporting. Oh, I got a point because I discovered a new stable. That's great. I have some points saved up. Would I like to get mine? Yes. I see PSV just playing Mario Kart World. Let's go ahead and if we take a horse, yeah. So, Peanut's already taken out. I have 2 horses. They're named Peanut and Butter. So funny. So I guess maybe I should board horse, board Peanut. Yes, please. Is Switch 2 Zelda a lot better? Strufab says it's got improved performance, faster load times, HDR support, and Zelda Notes integration. What is Zelda Notes? Let's see if we can find that. Nikki, I'm glad you're here. My captions normally work on Twitch. I don't know why they're not working today. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I could spend the night if we wanted to. Also, there's lots of folks to talk to in here. Let me see if I can find... You said Switch Notes. What is that? No, we're not pulling out a weapon in front of the children. Chill out. Different fabrics. Here we go. In the album, the Hyrule Compendium, this is all what I'm used to. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that is. But that's okay. But yeah, look how good the game looks. It's running so smooth. It looks so crisp. See if I can get my reward. I don't want to stay. I just... Where are my... Right here. Receive reward.
Hi.
Cap and Fathom is asking about streaming from the Switch. Yes, you should be able to just plug your HDMI out from the Switch dock into your capture card and then play. It's never as simple. So, Cap and Fathom, your question is skipping the capture card step. So you're saying, can I just plug the Switch into the PC and put it in OBS? You cannot. So anything that you're doing HDMI into your streaming PC, you need a capture card to really capture that audio and video to put it in OBS. Strufab says, Zelda Notes is a new feature via the Nintendo Switch app that provides in-game tips, lore insights, and even weapon repair options. Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah.
If I save it more points, I'll be able to register another horse. What? Peanut butter? I think the next horse's name needs to be Jelly, honestly. All right, before we check in with Beetle, folks, this is where I'm going to wrap up Nintendo Weekly for today. Normally, I would continue streaming on Twitch for a little while after the Amazon live stream portion is completed. However, today is Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest kicks off with a showcase at 2 p.m. There's Day of the Devs at 4. There's a Hitman showcase from IO starting at 6. My plan is to be live on Twitch that whole time. So it's going to be a big live day, all right? So with that being said, right now, I'm going to go offline, take some meetings, get some stuff done, maybe even film some, like, Switch first impressions to put out on Instagram a little later. But otherwise, I will see you all later for all of the Summer Game Fest excitement. I can't believe it. Switch 2 launched yesterday, Summer Game Fest launching today. It is a wild week in gaming. With that said, thank you everybody so much for watching today's stream of Nintendo Weekly. And I will see you soon. Wherever you're watching, follow so you get the notifications and or join the Discord, discord.gg/dragonriders to get all of the up-to-date notifications. And hopefully on Twitch later, since I'm only streaming to Twitch, not Twitch and Amazon at the same time, maybe that's where the closed captioning hiccup happened. I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to figure it out for later. All right, bye everybody. Thank you. Bye.